Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And what did I just say in a video yesterday? It feels a lot like 2022 again. More and more Ripple rails, XRP rails, every single day. This comes from Anados. We are proud to partner with Archway Finance to bring regulated and MiCA-compliant payment rails on the XRP ledger, enhancing our upcoming financial super app. Anados will leverage Archway's secure EUR, GBP, and USD rails with instant RLUSD settlement. So you see the fiat integration. Users can deposit EUR, GBP, and USD directly into Anados, connecting traditional finance to our on-chain ecosystem. 2. Instant settlements with EUROP and RLUSD soon. Withdrawals for vendor invoices, payroll, taxes, or local bank transfers settle instantly via Archway's rails, leveraging RLUSD and EUROP for efficient pay-ins and payouts. 3. Regulatory alignment. Anados will tap Archway's VASP program, enrolling CASP certification, ensuring MiCA compliance with full on-ramp and off-ramp connectivity. Right now, it's RLUSD. Later, they'll be utilizing XRP as well. These rails are now happening every single day, expanding out and growing all around the planet. It is crazy to see this happening again. Back in 2022, you've seen daily announcements like that. While everyone was distracted with FTX, Ripple was still putting rail after rail in place. And the XRP ETF hype is real. Take a listen to this.
I would have thought Solana would do pretty well, but we have Solana futures products that could be a decent indicator, and we have the Solana product now that has staking. And ironically,
And how are they doing?
Pretty good, actually. But ironically enough, there's also leverage futures XRP and XRP products. They actually launched after the Solana products and had even more interest. So there's a lot of interest there. Is it going to be the level of interest that the Bitcoin ETF launch had? Absolutely not. Like anyone who thinks like, oh, Bitcoin ETFs took in 40 billion. My, XRP ETF is going to take in the same amount or whatever. That's just not how this is going to work. These are longer tail assets. I think there will be demand. There will be plenty. There will probably be multiple products for each of these assets to do well. Maybe not all 10 of the ones I listed, but a decent amount of them.
Bloomberg still doesn't think that XRP ETFs will outperform Bitcoin ETFs. I'm telling you, they see Bitcoin only still. But XRP is going to be a shocker. I still think XRP ETFs will outperform the Bitcoin ETFs. The money's already shifting away from Bitcoin. They're already looking past Bitcoin. Where do you think they're looking? If XRP is still outperforming Solana ETFs, what do you think's going to happen once the rest of these ETFs go live? XRP Army made a difference in SEC case against Ripple, says lawyer. So Johnny Deaton believes that the group known as the XRP Army made a difference in the SEC's case against Ripple. In 2023, a judge issued a split ruling that XRP sales via public exchanges did not violate securities laws. The legal saga came to a close this August as all appeals were dropped. Deaton said that thousands of affidavits were submitted to the court and were cited as a reason the judge gave a ruling partially in favor of Ripple. We made the difference. The XRP Army was that difference. You know, Ripple has been through the worst of it to get to where we are now. But now we got legal clarity for XRP. Nothing will ever change that. And Hugo Philion shut down Ethereum very quick. So you see, why an L1 rather than an L2? Hugo Philion from Flare says the entire concept of L2s and sidechains has always been idiotic. Anything that becomes sufficiently useful or popular will always become an L1 because that is where the value is. The entire Ethereum roadmap is dead. In fact, it was dead on arrival. Anyone trying to rehash L2 sidechains is a sucker or worse. You know, Ethereum is always updating their roadmap, but Ethereum is also inflationary. We don't even know how much Ethereum there will be in the end. But every time they do an upgrade, it doesn't really help Ethereum at all. It doesn't give it better footing towards the new financial system. And most of the utility-driven cryptocurrencies are going to surpass Ethereum anyway. It's just a matter of time. And take a listen to this clip. So this is Hendrik Zeberg. He is the head macro analyst at Swissblock, and he talked to Black Swan Capitalist about a bubble and what could possibly happen next. Take a listen to this.
When it does happen.
Let's try to see if we can get the XRP first. Well, it looks pretty bullish to me right now, I have to say. But you know, again, targets. I mean, it's difficult to say. It's you know, I wouldn't be 3-4 times from here, no problem. I could see that easily. But again, I haven't actually, you know, gone into greater depth of actually analyzing. But it seems like I should analyze the XRP a little more if I listen to you guys. How big of a crash is it going to be? Well, when you have the largest market bubble in the world, looking at market capitalization to GDP, and you're looking at you know, all measures, especially if you cross them, you'll see that it is by far the biggest one. And you have the speculation. I think you'll see that a 9 trillion market of crypto, where Bitcoin takes up 1/3 of that, or a little more maybe, you will see that Bitcoin will probably, I mean, I dare to say it, I think Bitcoin is going to crash to at least around 4,000. I think 4 to 16,000 as I'm going to see.
Wow.
And I think and that is based on the tech setup that we have. And honestly, it's quite, from a technical perspective, it's almost, it sounds weird to say clear, but it's 16,000. Yes, 100%. I think we'll go down there, and nobody really sees that. And if you have that,
so he's thinking Bitcoin is going to crash down to $16,000. I mean, that could very well happen. And think about what's happening in the world right now. We're going from the current financial system into a new financial system. As that happens, Bitcoin's going to become irrelevant. People don't realize that yet. Right now, they're all citing the same thing because they're all parroting Michael Saylor and the mainstream media news. But once Bitcoin starts to crash down, I think people are going to start to realize that it's not up only, and it's not a great store of value either. Top investor shares personal plan to make $1 million with XRP. I think every single person that invests in XRP wants to get to $1 million. So veteran crypto investor Austin Hilton has revealed his personal roadmap for turning his XRP holdings into $1 million profit. So he noted that his main approach revolves around buying and holding XRP over the years. He said he has accumulated XRP steadily and plans to hold until the asset reaches at least a 30x return from current levels. That translates to an XRP price target of around $80 to $90, which he believes is achievable in the future. For Hilton, patience and long-term vision are the cornerstones of his profit strategy. I think XRP will go beyond that, and I don't really care how long it takes, he said. Whether it takes a year or 2, 3, 4, or 5, I'm going to hold. This aligns with the perspective of other XRP commenters who urge investors to secure a bag of 10,000 tokens and remain patient for the coin to enter the triple-digit range, enabling portfolios to reach million-dollar levels. I'm telling you now, 1,000 XRP within the next 2 years is most likely going to be worth $1 million. The way everything is already playing out. But he also talks about accumulating XRP no matter what the price is right now, because he knows it has a long way to go, which I've been telling you. The price we're at today is a very undervalued price for XRP. And if he's waiting for an $80 to $90 XRP, most likely he's going to see that in this run. If all the chart guys are right and all the people that are looking at all the catalysts are right, we are going to be looking at a 3-digit XRP within the coming months. And let's all hope that happens. And the anti-XRP industry never ends. I didn't know there is still a decentralization test that determines whether a digital asset is a security. I thought it was just a speech. So this guy goes on to talk about how every other asset other than Bitcoin is a security. You know, are we still at that level in crypto? Are we still pushing the 2017, 2018, 2019 narratives? Because that's how far these narratives go back. And we now know XRP is not a security. A judge has ruled that it's not a security. It's not a security today, and it's not going to be a security tomorrow or any times in the future, because we got legal clarity. But these people have to push that narrative to get people to stay away from XRP. Why? Because they're afraid of XRP. And this is ridiculous. So everyone eventually understands Bitcoin because of this right here. So you see Jerome Powell, Bitcoin, highly volatile and therefore not really useful stores of value. That was before 2024. After 2024, it's like gold, only it's virtual gold. It's a competitor to gold. Donald Trump turned bullish on Bitcoin. Larry Fink, Jamie Dimon, Mark Cuban, Michael Saylor. Here's the problem with believing that this is actually the narrative. What happened is this. They figured out a way to make money off of Bitcoin through the ETFs. They figured out how they could also manipulate Bitcoin and continue to make more and more money off of it. But eventually, all these narratives will shift right back when they no longer need Bitcoin, when now a new financial system is in place, and they want to take all the hype away from Bitcoin. Watch how fast they end up flipping the narrative. You never listen to these people. These are the same people that are stacking in the background while they're saying Bitcoin totally sucks. They're stacking it. Then all of a sudden they switch the narrative and Bitcoin pumps. Then they cash out some of that Bitcoin. Rinse and repeat. We've seen it multiple times in crypto. DOJ indictment shadows Kevin Spacey film. Co-writer charged in $340 million crypto Ponzi. Now, if this guy was taking people's money and not doing anything with it, not creating a film, just running off with the cash, there would be no talk of this. But because he did this using crypto, this makes all the headlines. Because there's a lot of people out there, even though we have a pro-crypto administration, pro-crypto SEC, and innovation is pushing ahead in the United States, they want to still push that anti-crypto narrative. That's why these types of headlines are all over the mainstream media news. If they were using cash, there would be no talk of it at all. And this comes from Phil Kwok. The perfect storm is brewing. Fiat currency is no longer a store of value. Just look at how crazy inflation has become. 2. Cryptocurrency with finite supply is now a genuine alternative to fiat. Just imagine what will happen when people realize these two very simple facts. You know what has a finite supply? XRP. You know, there's people out there that still believe we will not see scarcity for XRP. There's 100 billion XRP, and that's way too many. It's never going to be scarce. What they don't realize is XRP is going to continue to get locked away by these companies, by these countries, and it's going to be scarce. It's also going to have massive demand as well at the same time. And that's what's really going to drive the price. Not previous cycles or market cap, supply and demand. And until it happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.